The montage is interesting. I'm in it, saying something about a chilling effort or something like that. But it's decades of news. Sometimes it's people just commenting. Sometimes it's obvious lies being told.
By CNN, it's George Clooney sitting down with Jake Tapper. Welcome to John Mike Keane. George Clooney had a little bit of surgery done to make him look like a mannequin.
American people. There's the Dominion software stuff. There is people maintaining that Joe Biden is fit as a fiddle. I mean, there's a lot of...
That was you, Jake Tapper. What do you mean there were some people that said Joe Biden was fit as a fiddle? You know, people like you, Tapper.
And then as the history of our watching television goes, and we were watching it happen, and you see all the, you know, Kennedy's assassination and man landing on the moon, and you see sort of these amazing moments.
And you see Trump winning the election on November 5th. That was the best moment.
And you see goofy things too. But then there's this moment it turns. So the OJ chase and Jerry Springer, and people are laughing. And I always look at them when they laugh, because now you're laughing at him they're laughing at people's expense. They're laughing at cruelty. And from that moment on, it becomes much more about how we decide to inform ourselves and how we decide to talk about people. I think you could, and it relates all the way to this point we're at right now, which is it's not just about trying to, you know, fix, you know, questionable problems, but it's also about being cruel. The cruelty is the point.
Well, wait, what about when in the 60s, when the hippies, you know, you had radical leftists performing violence on campuses? There's like 300 terrorist bombings in the mentor of Barack Obama, performing real violence in America. What about that? Why would it start with Jerry Springer?
Those same pressures are going on right now, except we see big corporations, bigger than just CBS, writing checks.
Stop. Why only bigger than CBS? What about CBS writing big checks? What about George Clooney writing big checks? What about Robert De Niro writing big checks? See, Jake Tapper wants to pretend like they're just giving chump change, and the real corporations that you should fear is only Elon Musk and big tech billionaires that are starting to see that they were sold a bill of goods under Kamala Harris.
Look, I respond, and most of the people I know respond to actual courage. That's a courage that I certainly, you know, am attracted to and watching.
You yourself did something that a lot of people would call brave when you wrote your op-ed.
Well, I don't know if it was brave. It was a civic duty, because I found that people on my side of the street, you know, I'm a Democrat. I was a Democrat in Kentucky, so I get it. When I saw people on my side of the street not telling the truth, I thought that was time to...
Are people still mad at you for that?
Some people, sure. It's okay. You know, listen, the idea of freedom of speech, you know, the specific idea of it is, you know, you can't demand freedom of speech and then say, but don't say bad things about me.
Right.
Yeah, that's the deal. You have to take a stand if you believe in it. Take a stand for it, and then deal with the consequences. That's the rules. You know, and that's I have to take that. That's fair. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with criticism for my, you know, for where I stand. I defend their right to criticize me as much as I defend my right to criticize them.
Wow, we found a Democrat that's for free speech. I like that. I respect that. And that's why I criticize George Clooney in public for being a supporter of Joe Biden, and probably a supporter of Kamala Harris when Joe Biden finally dropped out and gave her a chance. But free speech is going away. And it's guys like Jake Tapper that are actually part of the cave-in of free speech, part of the undermining of the quality of free speech. It's liars like him and his network, CNN, that lying gets rewarded by big billionaire, multimillionaire money, like George Clooney, Barack Obama, Steven Spielberg paid for it. My old boss, Jeffrey Katzenberg, paid for it. You get rewarded if you lie. Happily, they lost the election. It all went flushing down the toilet, and America was saved by Donald Trump and you and I. I'm John Mike Keane.
You were in